We usually go to a theater to watch a story unfold, but William Shakespeare argued that the heavy red curtains, the stage, and the spotlight are already around us. Reality itself is the theater. He makes this case in his famous poem, All the World's a Stage. To build this argument, he uses a literary device called an extended metaphor. A standard metaphor makes a quick comparison between two unlike things. An extended metaphor stretches that single comparison across an entire piece of text. Here, Shakespeare maps every part of human existence onto the physical architecture of a grand stage. This theatrical framework maps our existence into a predictable, rigidly scripted sequence of 7 distinct acts. Let's read the text closely and decode the specific diction Shakespeare uses to describe the roles we are forced to play. By translating the messy process of growing old into a tight theatrical script, he forces us to confront how little control we actually have over our own aging process. The script begins with Stage 1, the infant. Shakespeare describes this opening act with the words mewling and puking. He bypasses the romanticized view of babies and focuses entirely on their raw, unfiltered vulnerability and total physical dependency on a nurse. Then we enter Stage 2, the schoolboy. Here, Shakespeare creates a sharp contrast between the boy's shining morning face, scrubbed clean for the public, and his actual internal emotional state. To show us that internal state, he uses a simile, a comparison using the word like or as. He writes that the boy is creeping like snail. This comparison captures the physical reality of a child with a heavy, dragging satchel, digging his heels in to resist leaving home. The fact that he goes unwillingly to school proves he is not acting on his own desires. He is executing a role dictated by society. Infancy and childhood share a foundation of powerlessness. The child does not write his script. He is merely forced to perform it. The timeline shifts into Stage 3, the lover. The dragging reluctance of childhood is replaced by intense, consuming adolescent energy. Shakespeare describes the teenager as sighing like furnace. He likens the emotional volatility of a young lover to a blinding, radiating heat. This heat hardens into Stage 4, the soldier. This character is defined by a rigid stance, strange oaths, and a quick temper. The core motivation for this stage is captured in a single metaphor. The soldier is seeking the bubble reputation. A bubble is fragile and temporary. Yet the soldier is willing to risk total destruction to chase this hollow fame, floating directly into the mouth of a cannon. This reckless pursuit of glory functions as another assigned role, an expectation young adults fulfill even at the risk of their own lives. The lover and the soldier possess peak physical strength, yet their actions are defined by the heat of the furnace and the fragility of the bubble. Even in these stages of high energy, the actor remains bound to a predetermined set of behaviors. The script matures into Stage 5, the justice. This represents the pinnacle of societal authority and accumulated wealth. Shakespeare uses body language to signal this status. The justice has a fair round belly and eyes severe, outward physical markers of a man who makes the rules and enjoys the excesses of his position. But that peak is temporary. We fall sharply into Stage 6, the lean and slippered pantaloon, where the physical form begins to fail. Look closely at the clothing metaphor. The man's youthful hose, his pants from his younger days, are now a world too wide for his shrinking legs. His physical footprint in the world is literally contracting. The decline is auditory, too. The deep, commanding voice of the justice regresses, turning back into a high-pitched, childish treble that whistles when he speaks. This stage marks the pivotal turning point of the play. The authority and physical presence accumulated over the middle acts are permanently gone, signaling the beginning of the end. Finally, the curtain begins to fall with the 7th stage, described as second childishness and mere oblivion. Oblivion here means a complete loss of awareness. The actor is being stripped of his physical senses and his connection to the outside world. Shakespeare emphasizes this erasure by repeating the French word sans, meaning without. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything. This rhythmic repetition acts as a mechanical countdown. It systematically dismantles the human subject until there is nothing left on the stage. The utter dependency of this final stage directly mirrors the helpless infant we met in Act 1. The script completes a tragic, inescapable loop. This diagram reveals the overarching structural architecture of Shakespeare's 7 stages. By tracking the chronological journey of the actor and filling in the roles from infancy to old age, we see that human life is not a straight line. The great irony of Shakespeare's observation is right here. The final descent into second childishness connects right back to the vulnerability of the infant. The cycle closes. The years of peak adulthood, the lover, the soldier, the justice, offer a temporary illusion of control, sandwiched between 2 states of total physical helplessness. Through this extended metaphor, Shakespeare takes the vast, unpredictable chaos of a human lifespan and organizes it into a mapped, inevitable script. Look at the script of your own life. Identify which act you are currently playing on this stage, and consider how you will prepare for the inevitable roles waiting in the wings.